Special meeting for today, Tuesday, April 7th, 2020 at the Board of Public Works. The time is 10:10 a.m.
Thank you, Mr. President. Fernando Campos, Executive Officer. I will call roll call. We have Commissioner Caloza, Commissioner James, Commissioner Davis in the room. We are all separated by 6 feet apart as provided in our guidance. We also have Commissioner Villegas and Commissioner Garcia that are joining us virtually, and they're both checked in. Commissioner President James, we do not have any public comments at this time. We also do not have any neighborhood council commentary at this time. However, we did receive a letter of support for item number 3 that was submitted from the Echo Park Neighborhood Council, and that was distributed to all commissioners. In addition to that, we did have an email that came in for item number 3 also regarding the West Landis Street, and that email has been distributed to all commissioners. I am joined by another person with the extension of Galaxy S8 tablet that has the person's hands raised, and I don't know if it's a public comment or not, so if you'd like, I'd like to
we'll
ask.
find out, but before we do that, on agenda item number 3, there has been a request. As a matter of fact, Dr. Campos, the agenda reflected a continuance to Tuesday, May 5th, 2020 in bold on agenda item number 3. That is in the agenda that I have in my hand, correct, Dr. Campos?
That is correct. That's how we
Okay,
posted
so
it.
this item has been continued to Tuesday, May 5th, 2020, Cinco de Mayo. You might check Dr. Campos now and see if the caller is for this item or for a different item.
Hi, caller. This is Fernando Campos, Executive Officer. Caller, using the extension of Galaxy S8, you have your hand raised. Do you have public comments at this time? Or would like to speak on an item? Galaxy S8.
This is Alan Tran with the LA Sanitation.
Alan Tran. Thank you, Alan. I'm going to go ahead and rename your extension.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Campbell.
Tran. Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, so without public comment on number 3, we'll go ahead and continue agenda item number 3 to Tuesday, May 5th, 2020. We'll take comment on that date. Let's go ahead and move to agenda item number 6, and let me just do a check to make sure I've got all 5. Commissioner Garcia, are you online with us?
Yes, I am.
Okay,
Good morning,
thank
everyone.
you. And Commissioner Villegas, I believe you're in your office behind us. Are you online with us?
I am. Yes, thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you, everyone. Agenda item number 6, revised letter of agreement, hygiene facilities for unsheltered residents, Council Districts 3, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, and 13, recommending that the board authorize sanitation to utilize the YMCA facilities for approximately 3 months at a rate of $20,000 per month, $5,000 per week for each facilities listed by executing the attached revised letter of agreement after approval as to form has been obtained by the city attorney. And Ms. Murray from LA Sanitation is back on this item. We just had and I'll let Ms. Murray explain it in more detail, colleagues, but this program, we approved the initial letter of agreement on Friday. The program did start yesterday with the agreement of all the parties, but there was a requested revision to the letter of agreement that all parties have agreed to, so that's why it's back at the Board of Public Works, even though the program is going forward with their agreement of all parties. Ms. Murray, go ahead, ma'am, you're on the line.
Thank you, Board President, Commissioners Garcia, Davis, Pelosa, Villegas, Dr. Campos, the City Attorney and Bureau representatives. Yes, we're back today. There was some language that we needed to work on to clarify indemnification and insurance for both sides, both the city as well as the Y. We've reached an agreement, and that is the change before you today.
And Ms. Murray, regarding the change before us today, would you give us just a brief summary of what that change is for the oral record?
Absolutely. If you just give me one moment. I apologize for the delay.
No problem. By the way, while you're doing that, I will indicate that we do have authorization to execute the revised letter of agreement between the city and the YMCA from the mayor's office already. Dr. Campos, and I submitted that to you as well.
Yes, received. Thank you.
Again, my apologies. We wanted to make sure we had the final version in front of
Understood,
myself.
no problem.
So what was added was a section on liability and insurance. What the Y has offered is they were looking for us to provide some sort of commercial general liability insurance. And in lieu of that, we let the YMCA and wrote into the language that we are self-assured.
Right, correct. Yes, and that's the standard for all city contracts at this level. And Mr. Jordan, are you online with us?
Yes, I am.
Okay, and Mr. Jordan, just to clarify with you, I know that your office worked with us and our team in the YMCA over the weekend to get this in final form. I just wanted to confirm on the oral record that you're okay with that.
Yes, as you mentioned, the city is self-insured, and so we on matters like this, it's fairly standard for the city to have language in its contracts indicating that the city is self-insured, and that's in lieu of an actual insurance policy.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Jordan. Any questions from Commissioner Garcia?
No, not at this
Okay,
time.
any questions from Commissioner Villegas?
No, I don't have any questions, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Then I'll make a motion that we adopt agenda item number 6, seconded by Commissioner Davis. Any objection? Was that a second from Commissioner Garcia as well?
Yes, and Commissioner Villegas.
And Commissioner Villegas too. Oh, thank you. You're smaller here in the room because you're farther away, but got it. So we have so without objection, we'll adopt agenda item number 6. Any issue sending 6 forthwith? We will send number 6 forthwith. I'll sign that as soon as it's circulated to me, and I have the mayor's authorization here, Dr. Campos, as well.
Perfect, Mr. President. Can I recommend that the board consider to
yes.
adopt this as amended to authorize the president or 2 commissioners to execute the revised letter of agreement
Yes,
as approved by the mayor?
Yes, and that's the same amendment that we did on Friday. It's to authorize myself as president of the board or 2 members of the Board of Public Works to execute the revised letter of agreement. So that's my amended motion. And I still have the seconds from Davis, Villegas, and Garcia. Okay, any objection? Without objection, that'll be the order on agenda item number 6 as amended. Any issue sending number 6 as amended forthwith? We'll send it as amended forthwith. Ms. Murray, let me thank you for your team, Ms. Mallory, Mr. Potter, and others that worked over the weekend on this to get us squared away and so early this week. We appreciate it.
Thank you, President James.
So let's go to agenda item number 1. We have the meeting minutes of Friday, March 27th, 2020 to approve. Is there a second to my motion that we approve the meeting minutes from March 27th, 2020 by Commissioner Davis? Any objection? Without objection, we'll approve those meeting minutes. Dr. Campos, we don't have any speakers on the queue, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Moving to agenda item number 2, consultant name change, IBI Group, a California partnership, formerly Tetra IBI Group, pre-qualified on-call architectural and related professional services contractors list. So they are on our list and they are seeking a name change authorization, recommending that the board authorize the city engineer to instruct the city controller's office to update their payment records to reflect the consultant name change from Tetra IBI Group to just IBI Group, a California partnership. Mr. Drucker on number 2.
Good morning, President James, commissioners. Hopefully all of you can hear me okay. Happy Tuesday. Yes, as President James indicated, the Bureau of Engineering is recommending that the Board of Public Works authorize the city engineer to instruct the Controller's Office to update their records to reflect the consultant name change from Tetra IBI Group to IBI Group, a California partnership, also known as the IBI Group. Just to let the board briefly know, In 2009, Tetra and IBI merged as one. Basically, IBI acquired a small design firm called Tetra Design Group. They had about 10 people at the time. IBI is, at this time, an international design and architectural consulting firm. For many years, Tetra IBI stayed with the same name, and a few years ago, we were informed that they were changing. All of the paperwork is now done, and Tetra IBI is now part of the IBI group fully and no longer has its own identity. Just to let the board know, the folks that have been working on our projects over the years that we've had the pre-qualified on-call consulting contract with Tetra IBI have not changed. This is truly just a name change, as President James indicated. They're working on a number of projects for us currently, including South Sanitary Sewer Maintenance Yard, electrical engineering services for our South Park project, North Hollywood Sewer Sanitation Maintenance Yard, which is just going into construction, Verdugo Hills Swimming Pool, which is about 90% complete with the design and starting the building and safety permit plan check right now. They're doing ADSEC design services through Bureau of Engineering and a joint project with our Department of Transportation. They're working on the Parker Center, actually just completed the Parker Center demolition, and also City Hall East electrical service room upgrade and other task orders that are assigned to them from time to time. And just to let the board know further that they've done a very good job, and they've really done yeoman's work over the past number of years that we've worked with them. So we do recommend approval. Unless there's any questions, that's all I have.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Drucker. Any questions in the room? None in the room. Commissioner Villegas, any questions?
No questions.
Okay. Commissioner Garcia?
No questions.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we adopt agenda item number 2, seconded by Commissioner Caloza. Any objection? Any objection from Commissioner Villegas or Garcia?
No.
Okay, without objection, we'll adopt agenda item number 2. Any issue sending number 2 forthwith? We'll send number 2 forthwith. Number 3 was continued. Let's take up a couple of authority for expenditures. Well, first of all, we've got agenda item number 11, an administrative item for specifications submitted for bids was withdrawn. Is that true, Dr. Campos?
Yes, that is correct. We did receive a request from the Bureau of Sanitation to withdraw this item.
Okay. Let's go to agenda item number 9, authority for expenditure, Southern California Alliance of Publicly Owned Treatment Works. Sanitation and the Office of Accounting are requesting board approval and execution of an authority for expenditure in the amount of $50,000 to pay Southern California Alliance of Publicly Owned Treatment Works annual membership dues for the period of July 1, 2019 through June 30, 2020. That's the current fiscal year. Mr. Nakaido on agenda item number 9.
Good morning, everybody. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Good morning. Thank you. This is Stephen Nakaido with LA Sanitation and Environment. We're asking your board's approval of this authority for expenditure to pay the Southern California Alliance of Publicly Owned Treatment Works, otherwise known as SCAP, for our annual membership dues in the amount of $50,000. And as noted in on the agenda, this covers the period of July 1st, 2019 to June 30th, 2020. So a little bit of background. SCAP is a regional nonprofit corporation, represents over 80 agencies across 7 counties in Southern California. The mission statement, which I think describes things pretty well, is to provide leadership, technical assistance, and timely information, promoting policies and regulations that focus on the sustainable protection of the environment and public health. So that certainly aligns with LA Sanitation's mission. They work to ensure regulations affecting public-owned treatment works, collection systems for the sewers, stormwater management agencies, et cetera, are reasonable and in the public interest and also balanced by the efforts to protect the environment. Our general manager and director, Enrique Zaldivar, is on the SCAP as one of the members of the SCAP board of directors. And from my office, the Regulatory Affairs Division of Sanitation, Some of our members have formerly served as chairs or vice chairs on some of the technical committees. We've been on as a member of SCAP for over 30 years. Some of the benefits from SCAP is they submit policy comment letters to and represent members before state agencies such as the State Water Board, the Cal Air Resources Board, Cal Recycle, Cal EPA, and sometimes in the courts. The fee itself, I know that is of interest. It's based on the average daily flow, and SCAP has a four-tiered fee structure. We happen to be at the highest at $50,000 per year because our average daily flow is over 100 million gallons per day. So we are just asking for the board's approval to pay SCAP for our annual fees. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer those.
Thank you, sir. Any questions at all? Commissioner Davis?
I wanted to ask in terms of this Southern California Alliance, do we have annual and quarterly meetings that are part of the activities included in the membership with the organization?
Yes, there are regular meetings. They actually meet about monthly or quarterly, depending. But we do have the different technical committees, for example, on air quality and biosolids, collection systems, water pretreatment, among others. So they do meet regularly, and staff from sanitation do attend either in person or by conference call or webinars.
Okay, great. I would suspect that we have gained best practices from other associates who are also a member of the Alliance, as much as we have set the trend, on the other hand, in ways in which we engage in our treatment works. Is that pretty accurate?
Yes, I think that it's definitely a mutual benefit for everybody. A couple of things, for example, that we've benefited from SCAP is back in January 2019, there's a joint letter with the association to Congress urging funding for drinking water, wastewater, water reuse, and stormwater infrastructure. More recently, they've supported efforts, or in the past, they've supported efforts for our land application at biosolids at their Green Acres farm in Bakersfield. They supported us when we're in a situation with the lawsuits with Kern County a couple of years back that settled in our favor, and SCAP was definitely helpful for us in that endeavor. A more recent issue you may be familiar with is the flushable wipes and the labeling of wipes. So back in May of 2019, they sent a letter to state legislators supporting some of the regulations or proposed legislation about the labeling of flushable wipes. So that helps our treatment plants and our water quality out to the ocean. So definitely a benefit for us, and a mutual benefit for all agencies involved in the association.
Thanks a million. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Any further questions?
Yes.
Commissioner Villegas?
I'm sorry, I'm having a little bit of difficulty pinning myself so I can raise my hand. I couldn't find those little icons. Just a quick question, and I'm assuming that this is taking place as well by this organization. They follow state legislation. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes. So we track state legislation, actions or proposed regulations by the various regulatory agencies as well. So there's discussion about those potential issues and support letters or work with legislators as needed to, on behalf of the different agencies across the association.
Okay. And when you get a moment, can you send us all the members that are, not today, I mean, just through email, can you send us just a link maybe of all the members who participate in this?
I can send you a link for the organization website. Would that be helpful? Yeah, I looked at it actually recently. It's not completely up to date, I don't think, but it does have a list, and I think it gives you a good idea of the geographic scope and the identity of the agencies involved.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thank you, Commissioner Villegas. Anything further? Okay, I'll make a motion that we adopt agenda item number 9, seconded by Commissioner Davis and Commissioner Caloza. Any objection from Garcia or Commissioner Villegas?
No.
Okay, then we'll adopt agenda item number 9 without objection. Any issue sending it forthwith? We'll send number 9 forthwith. Dr. Campos, I'm reminded that you have callers you need to check on for comments. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. Fernando Campos, Executive Officer. I have 3 new callers on the line. I'd just like to verify if they would like to make any public comments or if they're presenting. We have one caller with the name of Galaxy S9. Galaxy S9. Can you please let us know if you're a city employee or would like to provide any public comments? And if so, which item? Galaxy S9. I'm going to go ahead and unmute your microphone, Galaxy S9. City employee or public comment? Okay, Galaxy S9 is signed out. Second caller, Mr. Opat, O-P-O-T, Stephen Opat, or Opat. City employee or public comment?
Good morning. I'm a city employee.
Okay, thank you. Just checking. And the last caller we have is caller number 19095. Caller 19095. Public comment or general public comment on any of the items or city employee? Caller number 19095. If you can unmute your microphone. 19095, would you like to make any public comments or commentary on any of the items? Hearing no response, I'll move on to the last caller. And give me 1 second. Actually, the last caller dropped off the line. So, Mr. President, we just have caller 19095 that's not identified but not responding at this time. So no commentary at this time.
Okay, thank you. Then we'll move to agenda item number 10, Council District 6, Authority for Expenditure, United States Army Corps of Engineers Finance Center. Engineering and the Office of Accounting are requesting board approval and execution of an authority for expenditure in the amount of $60,000 to compensate the United States Army Corps of Engineers, the amount of $60,000 for services associated with preparing a real estate document for the LA Riverway San Fernando Valley completion project. Mr. Malice on agenda item number 10.
Nur, are you here?
I heard him check in earlier.
As did I. If he's not here, if Nur's not here, this is Neil Drucker. I can present on his behalf if that's okay.
Go ahead, sir.
Thank you. Again, Neil Drucker, Bureau of Engineering. Item number 10 is a recommendation from the Bureau of Engineering through the Bureau of Public Works Office of Accounting to issue an authority for expenditure to the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers in the amount of $60,000 from the Engineering Special Services Fund for the LA River San Fernando Valley Completion Project. This AFE, the $60,000, will pay for real estate document cost, basically the cost for the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers to review our plans and provide permits and a land use agreement through LA County Public Works to allow us to have rights to construct the San Fernando Valley Bikeway Completion Project. That's all I have, unless you have any other questions.
Thank you, sir. Any questions at all on agenda item number 10? And no questions in the room. Any questions from Commissioner Villegas or Commissioner Garcia?
No, thank you.
I do. I have a quick question, Neil. Neil, has the bike path started any construction yet here in the valley?
Different segments of the valley have started. Nur, are you here?
Yes, I'm here. Sorry guys, the way the audio is that everything is static, so it's hard for me to make out what people are saying, but I heard little tidbits here and there. You asked the question, has the construction started in the valley yet?
Yeah, has anything started in the valley yet for this bike path?
Yeah, so no, we have not constructed this segment in the valley from Pinellas to Balboa. However, the prior segments, the one that's currently going on, Owens Mount to Mason, is in construction right now. This is the segment a few miles north of us. And there's also segments in the mid-valley that have been constructed, like Coldwater to Whitsett, Sepulveda to Kester. And this is the next segment which BOE is working on. And some of those other segments were actually constructed by other agencies.
Okay, okay. Okay, thank you for your information. That was helpful.
Thank you, Nur.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Then I'll make a motion that we adopt agenda item number 10, seconded by Commissioner Caloza. Any objection? Any objection from Commissioner Garcia or Villegas? Okay, then without objection, we'll adopt agenda item number 10. Any issue sending number 10 forthwith? We'll send number 10 forthwith. Agenda item number 7, Clean Harbors lump sum partial payment, recommending that the board authorize the Office of Accounting to make a payment in the amount of $1,600,000 to Clean Harbors Environmental Services Incorporated as a partial payment for outstanding invoices. Dr. Campos, do we have any callers in the queue?
Thank you, Mr. President. Let me double check. I do have one person. Actually, I have two individuals that just signed in. I still have Galaxy S9. Galaxy S9, are you a city employee or would like to provide any commentary on item number 7 or any of the items for today's agenda? Galaxy S9, your microphone is unmuted if you can hear us. Hearing no response, Mr. President, I do not have anybody else that may like to speak on this item.
Okay, Ms. Mallory, we have you online.
Good morning, everyone. Lisa Mowry, Chief Financial Officer for LA Sanitation and Environment. Thank you so much for taking up consideration of this item today. This is related to our contractor, Clean Harbors, who provides a variety of services across many of the programs that LA San has oversight for. They're involved in the management of our safe centers where we take in hazardous materials. They assist us at our water reclamation plants for packaging and disposal of any hazardous materials that are generated there. And they are critically important to our livability services program, where we are providing services for homeless encampment cleanups. Their services have become even more critical in the past several weeks as we continue to step up services that are being offered to unsheltered individuals in our community. Earlier in this meeting, we talked about the YMCA program to offer sanitation services. We have many additional mobile hygiene centers and sanitation stations, hand washing stations across the city that Clean Harbors can assist us with if any materials are generated at those facilities that need that type of special treatment. We've recently gone through and done a contract amendment with Clean Harbors to increase the ceiling for that contract due to the significant amount of use we make of it. We have fallen a bit behind in making our payments to that contractor while we were waiting for all of the mechanics of that ceiling increase to be set into place and have additional funds being encumbered, et cetera. We currently, across all of our programs, have over $4 million worth of invoices that require payment. What we're specifically focused on today are invoices related to our livability services program, where we have about $3.2 million worth of invoices that are in the payment queue. So what's being proposed today, just so I can be very clear about it, this is not any sort of an advance payment to the contractor for work that has not been performed yet. All we're really doing is doing this partial payment as a way to get money out to the contractor as a good faith payment for work that they've already done for us. All we're cutting through, this isn't a change to any of the terms of the contract, any sort of an advance. We're just cutting through our own internal processes to make a 50% payment, which is very conservative. As we go through and each individual invoice gets processed, If there are any discrepancies, issues, changes in rates that get identified, that will all be corrected, and that will become the official amount due for that particular invoice. So there's zero danger of making any overpayments to the contractor since we're only doing the 50%. We will be going through and continuing to work between LA Sanitation and the board's Office of Accounting to make sure that everything gets verified and reconciled. This is just a way of getting half of that money out there that is due to the contractor, a contractor whose services are in demand across the country right now. So we want to make sure we're doing our share of getting them paid so they can continue providing those very critical services to the residents of Los Angeles. Any questions?
Thank you, Ms. Mallory. Yes, but let me confirm. Mr. Jordan, you're online with us, correct?
Yes, I concur and support the Bureau's recommendation.
Okay, I was just confirming you're online. Thank you. And we'll go to Commissioner Davis.
Ms. Maury, I think in summary you said that this is basically a payment that is a continuing payment that we are expending to this environmental services company for the services that they've already provided to us. Is that pretty correct?
That is correct. The services have been provided. This is just a quicker way to get them some of their money. Due to the way that invoicing occurs, so we can do correct cost accounting. Right now we get invoices for every area in the city, every location where they provide services. So during a single day when they're supporting up to 30 of our livability services teams out there, each of which are servicing multiple sites across the city, for one single day, we may get 100 different invoices for each one of those locations. So as it's a time-consuming process for us in LA Sanitation to go through and review them, and it's a time-consuming process when it then goes over to Office of Accounting to conduct their review. So you're absolutely correct. The work's already been done. This is just a way to give them half of their money by just cutting one check to them rather than cutting thousands and thousands of individual payments.
Great. And I see that, obviously, the services that they provide to sanitation and, in fact, to this city are critically important, from safe centers, hazardous materials, and needless to say, we immediately need these services on the homeless encampment cleanup proposals that we have just recently approved. I did hear you say in your report that there is a number of payments in the queue. I'm going to ask Dr. Campos to make sure that we pay special attention to the expenditures due to this particular agency, Clean Harbors Environmental Services, in as much as they have been critically important to us, and in as much as during this COVID-19 experience, it is very important that we have them continuously as a partner and ready to go for us to continue to fight this unpredictable crisis that we found ourselves, or that we find ourselves in. So I thank you for this report, and I certainly support it. And I am, as a result of you presenting this, asking our executive officer to pay close attention to what we can do to help to expedite those that are in the queue to the best of our ability.
Thank you, Commissioner Davis. Any questions from Commissioner Villegas or Commissioner Garcia? Okay. Mr. Jordan? Was that
I have
you?
no questions.
Okay, I thought I heard it sound. Dr. Campos?
If I could just respond to Commissioner Davis, this is Fernando Campos, Executive Officer. Commissioner Davis and all commissioners, this is a great example of a motion that's before you that shows collaboration between the Bureau of Sanitation and also the Office of Accounting. We have met with Lisa Mowry and her staff regarding the clean harbors, and we concur with her. This is it's very important for us and critical for us to make the payments. We have been working with them to clear out any of the invoices that are currently in the queue. We have committed to making those payments by this Friday. We have an excess of invoices that ranges close to about $300,000 or $400,000. So it's an amount that we've committed, working with the Bureau of Sanitation and also the Office of Accounting staff to expedite the process. In the terms of the telecommuting, we have put most of our employees on telecommute at this point. In fact, all employees have been approved for telecommute. Some have different schedules. We are noticing some benefits of the telecommute program, but we also have noticed some slowdowns in the telecommute program. One of those slowdowns was just getting outfitted, getting all the equipment outfitted for all the employees to actually do work from home. Most employees, I'm pleased to report that most employees are now operating at optimal levels from home. They are processing the invoices from home. I'm seeing those invoices coming through and being processed. There is a statement in the motion on the second paragraph that indicates that as a result of reviewing these invoices electronically, it slows down the invoice processing. We did experience a slowdown about 2 weeks ago when we were placing employees on the telecommute program, but that challenge or that barrier has been removed. We've been working with staff, equipping or giving them the right equipment so that they can process the invoices as quickly as possible. So to your point, Commissioner Davis, we concur with your recommendations. I wholeheartedly believe that we need to make this payment. Clean Harbors is a critical partner for us during this crisis, and even during the non-crisis, this is a vendor that the Bureau of Sanitation relies on. I support the motion that Ms. Mowry has presented, Bureau of Sanitation has presented overall. Anything that we can do on our end to expedite the payments, we will do so. One of the things that I would like to make a friendly amendment to this motion, if this board would like to consider, and that is the area of reconciliation. So as we reconcile the invoices that are coming in, who will be doing that reconciliation? We have done this before with the emergency sewer repair program, and the reconciliation has been placed back on the bureaus to make sure that we're not going to overpay. In this case, the motion is requesting $1.6 million. We will nowhere near be anywhere close to overpaying this vendor. This vendor submits invoices in the millions of dollars, so the $1.6 million is a very low amount that we need to pay this vendor. I don't think there's any risk, as Ms. Mowry has indicated, but I'd like to indicate that the motion put the responsibilities, or at least have the Bureau of Sanitation to reconcile the expenses related to this payment so that we can capture those at one point and true it up at one point in time.
Ms. Mowry, any issue with that amendment regarding reconciliation?
No, we're fine with that. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Campos.
Yeah, thank you.
Mr. Jordan, are you okay with that proposed amendment?
Yes.
Okay. Then I'll make a motion that we pass the motion, agenda item number 7, as amended. Although I just realized, Commissioner Garcia, any questions from you?
No, not at this time.
Okay. Commissioner Villegas, any questions for you?
No.
Okay.
But I'd like to second that.
Okay. So that's the motion as amended with Dr. Campos's friendly amendment is made, seconded by Commissioners Villegas and Garcia. Any objection? Without objection, we'll adopt agenda item number 7 as amended. Thank you, everyone, for your work and partnership on agenda item number 7. So we can continue with those critical services with this entity that we're working with. Any issue sending number 7 as amended forthwith? We'll send number 7 as amended forthwith. Ms. Mowry, thank you.
Thank you all very much.
Agenda item number 8, a construction order for Myers & Sons, recommending that the board first authorize the execution of a construction order to Myers & Sons in the amount of not to exceed amount of $500,000 for emergency and construction services required for the installation of approximately 535 trailers around the city. A very important motion. Dr. Campos, do we have any speakers in the queue so far on number 8?
Mr. President, we only have Galaxy S9 that has not been identified at this time, so no.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Kawaguchi.
Good morning, Mr. President and Commissioners and Bureau Heads. My name is Alan Kawaguchi. I'm representing this motion, and the City Engineer is requesting the Board authorize the execution of the construction order to Myers & Son in the amount of not to exceed $500,000 for the emergency construction services required to install approximately 535 trailers around the city. In some background, on Thursday, March 27th, the Bureau of Engineering was asked to come to the EOC, and we were notified that there was approximately 535 trailers that were coming down from up north, and they had asked the Bureau of Engineering to help deploy these out to roughly 13 wreck and park facilities. The trailers started to come in on Friday. On Saturday, March 28th, the Bureau of Engineering requested and received via email authorization from the board, President and Commissioner Calosa, to execute the construction order with Myers & Son. Myers & Son, just to let you know, is a part of the pre-qualified contractors emergency repair services for the wastewater facilities. There are currently 8 firms on that list. The contracts are set to expire on October 12, 2022. The way this list works is you take the top name off the list. That was Myers & Sons. We offered them the work, and they accepted the work. At this point right now, we've deployed out approximately close to maybe 200 trailers. We still have approximately about 233 still sitting at Hanson Dam, but we're slowly deploying them little by little to get them out. So you have any questions?
Thank you, Mr. Kawaguchi. We'll start with Commissioner Calosa.
Thanks, Alan, and thank you, President James. It's not so much a question, but I just wanted to commend the partnership here of all the different public works bureaus, as well as the Department of Rec and Parks, LAPD, EMD, LAFD, and DWP. And you see that it's really a citywide collaboration to get these emergency shelters up. And so just thank you for working over the weekends many times to really get these installed. So I just wanted to say that.
Yes, thank you, Commissioner Calosa. And I want to thank you as well, Commissioner Calosa. This was something obviously from the text of the motion that came to the city very quickly. The mayor's office led the effort with the entities that Commissioner Calosa mentioned. It was a great partnership that took place over nights and weekends to get this out quickly, and a big thank you to the engineering team and to Gary Lee Moore individually, and Deborah Weintraub and Mr. Kawaguchi on getting this work done quickly. As the motion indicates, Commissioner Calosa and myself provided authorization, the emergency authorization, back on March 28th, 2020, which we were, I know I can speak for myself, we were both very happy to do, and pleased that we had the opportunity to do so, as this helps significantly during this crisis. Commissioner Garcia?
Yes, thank you for that. And I too want to really congratulate all of you, President and Commissioner Calosa, and everybody else that worked on this. These trailers are actually really nice. And they are making a big difference. I just have more of a logistical question, like always, where I know that they're being stored, like for example at Hanson Dam. Is the intention that they're going to be deployed all throughout the city? And are we picking sites, or council offices are picking sites where these trailers will have a home?
This is Alan Kawaguchi from the Bureau of Engineering. Commissioner, right now at the time we were given roughly 13 rec and park centers that we've already started doing the layouts for them. We've deployed already out to 3 of them, and the 4th one will go out tomorrow. The fire department has picked up 175, and they're deploying them out to fire stations. There's 9 fire stations overall, and we're working with them right now to figure out how to get them power and water to get these operational as well. So we do have these 13 that we're laying out. The council office, I heard, are very engaged in terms of which ones they want and how many trailers they want at the locations, but it seems like we're constantly getting changes on locations, because we did have an additional 13 different sites that they gave us to evaluate as well.
Okay. When you do have the locations, can you share that with us? Or at least I definitely am interested in knowing.
I can, yeah, I can definitely share them with you. It just seems like it changes like almost by the hour, but I'll set you what we have at this point that we know of. But again, I think tomorrow and the numbers may change, but I'll make sure I get that up to all 5 commissioners.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be today because I know that it's still a living process right now, but it could be tomorrow once it's kind of settled.
Yeah, like I said, we're constantly getting updates from the EOC. So far, we've deployed out at Westwood. We deployed about 42 trailers there. At Granada Hills, we deployed another 26. At Woodland Hills, we're going to deploy another 15. We deployed to one off of Chevy Chase, another 20. So that's the numbers that we have. Those are, we know for sure because they're already deployed. And yes, we're staging them at Hanson Dam because we didn't know how fast they were coming in. They were trickling in starting from Friday the 27th or the 28th. And then they slowly have been coming in. And I think maybe this past weekend, Saturday, all 535 trailers were now delivered.
Wow. Well, what a great project. Thank you, everyone involved. And thank you. I look forward to knowing when they're all kind of set and ready to go.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Villegas, anything?
No, just also a big thank you for this effort. I know everybody's been working overtime just to be able to deliver services to the residents of the city of Los Angeles, so it's a big effort. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you. And I just have one more tidbit that I'll add to this regarding partnership. Gary Lee Moore, our city engineer, had the idea of, to the extent we needed assistance in the design and the layout of these trailers on various limited spaces, primarily parking lots, obviously, to enlist the assistance of entertainment trades, namely Teamsters, Local 40, Local 399, who build base camps for film shoots to provide assistance in that as well. So it really has been, and of course they've agreed to help to the extent we need them. So it's been just a great partnership across the board, quickly coming together in this time of crisis. So with that, I sensed a motion from Commissioner Caloza on this, which I'll be happy to second along with Commissioner Davis. Commissioner Villegas and Commissioner Garcia, anything on that?
All good.
Okay, so that's Commissioner Garcia and Commissioner Villegas also seconding, so that'll be the order on Commissioner Caloza's motion. Any issue sending number 8 forthwith? We'll send number 8 forthwith. Thank you, everyone, for your work on that. Mr. Kawaguchi.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, and thank you to your team at engineering. Let's go to agenda item number 5, contract award, Olympic Boulevard, Flower Street. This is in Council Districts 1 and 14. Flower Street to Lake Street. This is Vision Zero street lighting project. Recommending that the board deny the request transmittal number 2 from Elecnor Belco Electric, the first low bidder, to withdraw their bid for the project as discussed in the report. Secondly, find Elecnor, the first low bidder, to be non-responsive as discussed in the report. Third, declare International Line Builder, which is the second low bidder, to be the lowest responsive responsible bidder, and award International Line Builder a contract in the amount of $847,354. 4, forward a copy of the report to the affected council offices, that's Council Districts 1 and 14. And number 5, authorize the president or 2 members of the Board of Public Works to execute the contract after approval of all the required documents by the city attorney has been obtained. Dr. Campos, anybody in the queue on number 5?
We still have the same 2 members, one person with the Galaxy S9.
Why don't you try one more time on each of those?
Galaxy S9. Are you a city employee or presenter, or would like to make a comment on any of the items? Galaxy S9. Hearing no response, you are welcome to continue to stay on the line. And then also we have caller number 19095 that's listening in telephonically. If you'd like to make any comments on any of the items. Caller number 19095. If you are dialing in by phone, you can press *9 to raise your hand, or you can just speak now. Your microphone has been unmuted. Caller number 19095. Mr. President, hearing no responses from those two callers, they are welcome to stay on the line and continue listening to the Board of Public Works.
Okay, thank you. That takes us to Shant Habasepian from the Bureau for the presentation on number 5.
Good morning, President James, Commissioners. My name is Shant Habasepian, and I work for the Bureau of Street Lighting. The project Olympic Boulevard, Flower Street to Lake Street will convert the existing high-voltage series street lighting circuits on Olympic Boulevard to low-voltage multiple circuits by replacing conduit, wires, and luminaires. Poles or foundations will not be replaced, and no tree trimming will take place. Furthermore, technology to provide real-time reporting of flight outages failures will also be installed. Financing for the project is front-funded from the Public Works Trust Fund and reimbursed by the Federal Highway Administration. Elknor Belco Electric Incorporated, the first low bidder, submitted a bid for a total of $776,172, which was 3.62% lower than the Bureau of Street Lighting estimate of $805,300. International Line Builders Incorporated, the second low bidder, submitted a bid of $847,354, which was 5.22% higher than BSL's estimate. Elknor Belco submitted a bid withdrawal request claiming clerical errors in filing out bid item number 26. However, Elknor missed the deadline to withdraw. Furthermore, Elknor submitted a signature sheet and affidavit and bid bond signed only by their vice president and failed to submit an optional board of directors resolution of authority in lieu of a second signature. Elknor did not provide the required signatures for board of directors resolution of authority by the given deadline. Therefore, BSL recommends that Elknor's bid be deemed non-responsive. In view of the above, BSL recommends that the Board of Public Works deny the request of Elknor to withdraw their bid, and second, find Elknor, the first low bidder, to be non-responsive. Third, declare International Line Builders Incorporated, the second low bidder, to be the lowest responsible bidder, and award International Line Builders a contract in the amount of $847,354. Thank you. If you have any questions, I'll be ready to answer.
All right, thank you, Mr. Avasopian. So let me just confirm a few things that are also in the written board report as well. This is a federally funded project, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and thus we are utilizing the disadvantaged business enterprise program as opposed to our standard city program. Because of the federal funding, we are mandated to use that program. There was a low bidder that came in, Elknor, Belco Electric. We've dealt with them on occasion. However, there was a problem with their bid and the bid validity as described in page 3 of the board report that results in the recommendation from Street Lighting that they be determined to be non-responsive. That's recommendation number 2. Assuming we find them non-responsive, the next low bidder is International Line Builders. They are a bit higher in their bid, however, meet the responsible requirements according to the report, and it's based on that you're asking for our approval. Any questions at all, Commissioner Garcia?
No, I was briefed on this. Thank you for that. Yes, I'm pretty aware of where we're at with the situation.
Okay. Commissioner Villegas, any questions?
Just a clarifying question. For Elknor, did you physically talk with them? Or was your communication done just by mail and email?
I think just by mail and email.
Okay. And Do you feel that that is the most appropriate form of communication?
Basically, I'm not the one who did the communication. We have our bid and award group that they are doing that.
Okay.
And I don't know what they did actually. I can only ask them if need be.
Okay, that would be helpful. I'm not going to stop this from going forward. However, it is important that, all forms of communication be exercised so that there is clear communication.
Fine, thank you.
Do we have, just a shot in the dark here, but Dr. Campos, any signal that we have Ms. McGlinchey on the line by chance?
No, I do not have Ms. McGlinchey on the line. I do have a Galaxy S9 and caller number 19095, but no Ms. McGlinchey.
But just because with Ms. McGlinchey, we might get a supplement to the method of communications. Let's go to Commissioner Davis.
I just wanted to clarify, is Elecnor, they withdrew their bid, is that correct, sir?
They sought to.
They sought to, yes. They sent a letter of withdrawal.
Okay.
Yes, one moment. Let's see if we can make one. Yeah, we're going to, just to try and get an answer from Ms. McGlinchey on this. No luck yet, Dr. Campos?
No luck yet. We have sent the invitation. I sent a couple of emails as well. One suggestion that the board could consider, we have one item remaining, item number 4, if you'd like to consider that.
Yeah, there's no cost in that. Let's table, Mr. Avasopian, you can stay with us on the line. We'll table number 5 and see if we can get an update on if there was telephonic communications in addition to email communications. And if not, if we can get an answer one way or the other, we can decide if we want to go forward with this or not. Well, we don't have a meeting on Friday. We have a meeting on Thursday. Dr. Campos, what's the cost of putting this over on Thursday's meeting? Can we do that?
If the Bureau is fine, I'm perfectly fine with adding this or
yeah,
continuing
Mr.
this item.
Avasopian, can we wait a couple of days on agenda item number 5 to hear it at our Thursday meeting so we can get clarification from contract administration on the question from Commissioner Villegas?
I think we can. The only thing I'm not sure, I can ask also our bid and award people if they have had a direct communication, verbal communication with the contractor.
Also, if the board would consider item 4 first, I can go and double check to make sure that the bonds are still going to be good until this
Yeah,
Thursday,
why don't,
just in
okay,
case there's
stay
any
on the line.
expiration date.
We'll go to agenda item number 4, and Dr. Campos will go check to see if the bonds are still holding up, so we can move to Thursday. Okay, so we'll table agenda item number 5, come back in a moment. Let me call agenda item number 4. Request for proposals, management of biosolids at Green Acres Farm, recommending that the board first authorize the director of sanitation or his designee to distribute and advertise the transmitted RFP request for proposals for the management of the city's biosolids at the city's Green Acres Farm. Secondly, evaluate the proposals and based on the established rating criteria, select and interview the most qualified proposers. Third, negotiate a contract with the most responsive proposers or proposers. And 4, return to the Board of Public Works for authority to award and execute the contract or contracts subject to the mayor's and city council's approval. No new speakers in the queue, Dr. Campos?
That is correct.
Okay, Mr. Tran on number 4, and that'll give the opportunity for Dr. Campos to check and see if the bond still holds for agenda item number 5. Mr. Tran.
Good morning, President James. Can you hear me well?
Yes.
Yes. Good morning, President James, commissioners, Mr. Ted Jordan, Dr. Campbell, and the Bureau representative. My name is Alan Tran with the LA Sanitation. We are here today for the request for the proposal for the city biosolid management at Green Acre Farm. The city wastewater treatment plants produce the total of 750 wet tons per day of the Class A biosolid. According to the city bio policy, we, the city, commit to maintain 100% beneficial use of the city biosolid to comply with all applicable federal, state, and the local regulation. In order to achieve and maintain the commitment, the LA Sanitation adopted a diversified beneficial use biosolid that environmentally sound and cost-effective. Our biosolid program options include land application at the city-owned Green Acre Farm, deep well injection, composting at Griffith Park, and other contractor beneficial use site. Green Acre Farm is the city property in the city of Bakersfield, Kern County, which were purchased in 2000. The farm is about 4,688 acres. The main purpose of the purchase is to have a place for the city to haul and beneficial use of the city biosolid. Based on the current operation, approximately 60% of the total biosolid production, about 450 wet tons per day, has been hauled to Green Acre Farm for land application. The biosolids have been used as fertilizer. Currently, the city has a contract with the responsible biosolid management for hauling and land application at Green Acre Farm. It due to expire on November 14, 2022. So this RFP is seeking for the qualified and experienced contractor for the management of the 450 wet tons per day of the city biosolid. The responsibilities include loading, transporting, and processing for the land application at Green Acre Farm. In addition, we also require the proposer to submit the proposal for alternative beneficial use of the biosolid at Green Acre Farm, so we can evaluate and include the alternative in our future biosolid program. Since the current contract will expire on November 14, 2022, it's 2.5 years from today. We need to process the RP and get the new contract in place by November 2022. For the hauling and land application contract, the term of agreement for the new contract will be for 5 years with 3-year renewal option. The total ceiling cost of the contract is estimated at $75.8 million for the total of 8 years. For the alternative benefit you use, if selected, the term of agreement and the total ceiling cost will be determined depending on the benefits or use option. All proposers are required to perform the subcontractor outreach for the business inclusion program. So today, we would like to request the board to authorize LA San to distribute and advertise the transmit RFP for the city biosoil management at Green Acre Farm. Negotiate a contract with the most responsive proposer. Return to the Board of Public Works for authority to award and execute any contract subject to the mayor and the city council approval. And that concludes my presentation, and thank you so much for your consideration.
Thank you, Mr. Tran. We will go to Commissioner Caloza.
Thank you, President James. Thank you, Mr. Tran, for your briefing on this RFP. I just had a quick question about any major changes that you've made from, or that LA Sanitation has made in this RFP from the original one that's going to expire in 2 years, if you can just give an overview.
There will be not much change from now until 2022 for the current contract. But for the next contract, we're going to concentrate. We will concentrate on the hauling and land application from the 2022 to the 2026, and after 2026, there could be a slightly change for the alternative, because at that time, the contract with the city of Bakersfield to provide the effluent from the treatment plant number 3 will be expired, and we will have less water for the irrigation. That's why we require the proposer to submit the alternative for the city to include in our biosol program after 2026.
Okay, thank you. I may just request for a quick briefing with you on this, just so I can understand it more for my own awareness, but thank you for your briefing.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Davis. But before Commissioner Davis, did we have a hand up by Commissioner Garcia or Commissioner Villegas? Nope. Okay, thank you. Commissioner Davis.
Mr. Tran, thank you for your report on the management of biosolids at Green Acres Farm. And I understand this proposal before us to be a request for proposal. And I know that you're coming back to us at some point in time to look at awarding the contract. And so my question to you is, what do you think the timeline would be that you would be coming back to the board in terms of requests for contracting?
After your approval, we will try to release the RP as soon as possible, as soon as the mayor authorized all the meeting activity resume to normal. So the contract will expire 2.5 years from now. So if we're gonna go back to the board for the contract execution, maybe like 6 months before the contract expires.
Sure. Okay. Okay. And this again, you said that would be this current contract, as I have understood your presentation, ends in 2022, and the current proposal is seeking to develop an additional contract that will last for an additional 5 years. Is that correct?
This will be for 5 years with 3-year renewal option.
With the renewal option.
So the total could be 8 years.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Davis. Anything further? Then I'll make a motion that we adopt agenda item number 4, seconded by Commissioner Davis. Any objection from Commissioner Villegas?
No.
Any objection from Commissioner Garcia?
None.
Okay, without objection, then we'll adopt agenda item number 4. Any issue sending number 4 forthwith? We'll send number 4 forthwith. That takes us back to agenda item number 5, the contract award, Olympic Boulevard, Flower Street to Lake Street, Vision Zero street lighting project, federally funded project in Council Districts 1 and 14. Commissioner Villegas had a question regarding communication with Alec Norbelco, and we sought to check in with Linda McGlinchey at the Bureau of Contract Administration to see if she had anything to add to that question, not knowing whether she would know one way or the other, but she often knows everything we ask her, so I thought we would check. So, Dr. Campos, were you able to get Ms. McGlinchey?
I was able to get Ms. McGlinchey. She's on the line. Also, I was able to double check on the bond expiration date. That bond is good until May 13, 2020. So if the board would have wanted to continue, you could, and you can still choose to do so. Ms. McGlinchey's on the line. I'm going to go ahead and unmute her. Just give me 1 second. And then I also have a new caller, extension 5085, that just dialed in. Not sure if this is a city employee or presenter, but caller number 5085, if you'd like to make any public commentary or identify yourself at this time. Caller 5085. No? Okay. Ms. McGlinchey?
Okay, thank you, Ms. McGlinchey.
Let me just make sure I unmuted her.
Can she call in?
Ms. McGlinchey? If you do not have a microphone at your computer, there is a number you can dial in that's posted on the agenda. You can do so and we can dial you in. Linda?
Or we could ask her the question through email. Whether they communicated verbally with Alec Norbelco. Is that correct, Commissioner Villegas?
Yes, that is correct.
Right. Just to get, instead of just email communications, whether there were any verbal communications.
Yeah. May I say something?
Yes, who? Hello?
Sean.
Yes, this is Sean Towasakian.
Oh, okay. Hi, Sean.
Yeah, I just checked with our office about this issue, and they informed me, they sent them an email and a letter informing them that it's going to be awarded today, and they agreed to that. They didn't have any objections on both Alec Norbelco and ILB. Now, also my senior or assistant director was telling me that they have spoken with ILB verbally and informed them about this situation.
Did they speak with Alec Norbelco verbally?
That they did not say, yes.
That's what we're looking for.
However, Alec Norbelco were already asking to be withdrawn from the bid, so just so that you know.
And Commissioner Villegas, could I get a point of clarification on your question?
Yes.
Were you wondering if they spoke to them to let them know about the hearing today, or were you wondering if they spoke to them more substantively about their...
More substantively about their ineligibility. And I see that they requested also that, to be removed, but I just didn't want any kind of gray area. And so that we're all on the same page in terms of why they've requested this and then our decision to move forward with the next bidder.
Okay.
Can I say something, President James?
Yes, please.
This is Mr. Hovasapian. I believe I was briefed on this last week, and so I believe Alec Nor made a mistake in their addition And so this is why they requested to withdraw. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct. Item number 26, they made a mistake in their bid number, item number 26. That's why they were going to face a loss in this. That's why they wanted to withdraw. And I just had another call from my office just now telling me that they have spoken verbally with Elecnor Belco.
Okay. And I believe Elecnor has other contracts with us, but they just happen to have made a mistake on this one. And so instead of taking the loss, they withdrew.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, sir. So we had that much of a clarification. We also have Ms. McGlinchey on the line. Ms. McGlinchey, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the quick response with the surprise inquiry from us. We just heard from Mr. Avasopian at Street Lighting that their office did indicate that Elecnor Belco was spoken to verbally about the substance of the issue before us, but I saw your name on the board report, Ms. McGlinchey, so I was just wondering if you happen to recall the extent of communications with Elecnor Belco on this versus ILB.
Well, for the Bureau of Contract Administration, we really didn't have any communication in that we did our review. We were recommending either of the bidders for award of the contract.
Would you say that again?
The BCA recommendation for award was to either of the two bidders.
Okay. And then the determination was then made by BSL?
Correct.
Okay. You signed off on the board report, so are you okay with the recommendation?
Well, yes, it's BSL's determination that they're non-responsive. That wasn't our review, nor did we have any responsibility in terms of looking into that.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Davis.
Mrs. McGlinchey, in this review, while both companies did fail to turn in the similar sheet, I forgot what it's called there, there was an additional burden that Elcor had, which was, in fact, that they did not have a two-signature signature on the proposal. And so as a result of it, it was the distinguishing factor in terms of why they were declared non-responsive by the Bureau of Street Lighting. So then my question to you is this failure to have a double signature as is required in any violation, if you will, of the federal guidelines by which we can grant this contract?
With regards to that, it's something that I am not familiar with, so I really couldn't say one way or another. I would assume, but really Street Lighting would have to speak to that as to whether or not they contacted Caltrans as to that status.
Yes, ma'am. And maybe I should ask Street Lighting and or our city attorney if in fact,
I think I'd like to hold this over, Commissioner Davis.
Okay.
We just got, I think we need maybe it's the virtual setting we have, but we've got just some questions that have come up that I think if Dr. Campos, you're indicating that their bond is, I don't want to slow down our Vision Zero. I know that's a priority. But my question is about a week. If we put this over to our Tuesday meeting of next week, does that do anything? Does it appear to do anything harmful to the project? That's not unless it's something we don't know about.
No negative impact from my end for the bond or just a warning of the contract, whether that delays in terms of operations, fiscal operations, or impact. That would be up to the Bureau of Street Lighting to determine that. But from my end, we have until May 13th to award.
Okay, Mr. Havasapian, can we hold this until a week from today?
Believe you can.
Was that yes?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Let's, and then we'll have some time to get some clarification on the communications that occurred. I know your office called you and let you know that, but we can get a sense of the communications that occurred. I can have a subsequent conversation with Ms. McGlinchey offline to answer some of the questions that I have there that are more related to a briefing, and I can get a briefing on this before we have the subsequent hearing. Since I don't recall having a briefing on this, I may have, but you know, there's a lot going on right now with this crisis, and sometimes stuff that goes in my head doesn't stay exactly where it should, especially if it's been weeks or months since I've been briefed on it. Let's put this over for a week on agenda item number 5. Without objection, that'll be on the meeting agenda for Tuesday, April 14th. That's not a holiday or anything, correct, Dr. Campos?
That's correct.
Okay, we'll take the item up. Ms. McGlinchey, again, thank you for joining us on the fly.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, President James. And if I could just request a briefing as well, I would appreciate it.
Right, and Cindy in my office can schedule telephonic briefings for any of the commissioners that need that, provided all the required Brown Act rules are obviously followed. Dr. Campos, have we cleared the desk?
Yes, you have.
Okay, then with that, we are adjourned. Note, everyone, we are meeting again on Thursday. Dr. Campos, have we chosen a time for our Thursday meeting?
Depending on when the documents will be submitted, it is a special meeting. We will shoot for 10 o'clock, but
I think
no
it's
later than
safer
1
to
o'clock.
just go ahead and schedule it for 1:30.
1:30?
Yeah, let me just check that real quick. That way we're at least giving people as much notice as we can about the time of the meeting. Let me just check that.
Yeah, we can do 1:30.
I'm sorry?
We can do 1 or 1:30.
Yeah, let's leave it at 1:30.
Okay.
For Thursday, April 9th for our meeting. Thursday, April 9th at 1:30. Commissioner Villegas and Commissioner Garcia, you heard that?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you. Commissioner Villegas?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
All right, thank you, everyone, and then we'll take this number 5 up on Tuesday. But in the meantime, have a safe rest of the week. We're meeting on Thursday instead of Friday, by the way, to avoid having a meeting on Good Friday. So the meeting will be on Thursday this week. Thank you, everyone. We are hereby,
Thank you.
We are hereby adjourned at 11:32 a.m.